I'm Chad Finn filling in for Kevin Paul DuPont here on 10.0, joined by Scott Thurston. Jeff Green opened everyone's eyes with his absolutely brilliant 43-point performance the other night against the Miami Heat. Wasn't enough to pull out a victory, but it was certainly enough to put Jeff Green on the map as someone who bears watching, is a very key player in the Eastern Conference as this season moves towards the playoffs. Scott, Jeff Green has all the talent in the world, but how good can he be night after night? Consistency really is the key with this kid.
Yeah, to me, he's an enigma, and I've compared him in the past to J.D. Drew, where you see this kind of talent. And I had the same questions about Drew. Why can't we see the 4 for 5 and the great plays in the outfield on a consistent basis? Sometimes he would just kind of go to sleep. And I feel the same way about Green. But if they are going to make a run in the playoffs, they need Jeff Green to play at or near that level every night.
Yeah, what jumped out at me the other night was the notion that this is exactly why Danny Ainge made that trade when he did. They needed a perimeter guy who not only could score against Miami, they needed someone who could at least try to defend LeBron James. And it was Luol Deng, too, with the Bulls at the time, the teams that they were going to be contending with. It was a gamble. It was a gamble that didn't work out that particular season. But the appeal of Jeff Green and the talent that this kid has is there, and it's there more and more. It's been more evident lately. He needs to do it consistently night after night. There's no doubt about that. But I think we've seen signs that he can do it. Miami, he started slowly, could have gone into a shell. He didn't. He took over the game, at least for a few quarters, until Doc's debatable resting of him in the fourth period. But this is a guy who I think is going to be essential, and I think he can handle being essential to this team.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think I do have to cut him a little bit of slack. He is coming off the heart surgery, and maybe it takes him a little while to get going and get his motor going and play at that consistent level. But, boy, he's the guy you're counting on now to replace Pierce, too, next year. You want to kind of build your team maybe around this guy in Bradley.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be 43 points per night from Jeff Green, but a consistent 18 to 22 and a little bit of rebounding and that solid perimeter defense, that's probably not too much to ask. This guy's a likable player, good player. He's an essential player to the Celtics, and we're going to like watching him going forward as this season hits the playoffs.